Hello folks, so SoundHound reported great Q1 earnings yesterday and it subsequently went up 15% after hours. In this video I'll go over the earnings report and provide my thoughts and also my predictions on SoundHound's price going forward and why I'm buying more shares. Before we begin, most of you are not subscribed, so please hit that like and subscribe button to get instant updates when I post SoundHound videos, and also I'm not a financial advisor, so take all my content with a grain of salt and seek professional financial advice if you need to. Alright, so SoundHound beat on all three key metrics, the top line, bottom line, and upgraded full year revenue guidance. In yesterday's video I said that if this happened, we could expect a 30% move after hours, but we got only 15%. I think this is because although the numbers were above expectations, they weren't huge beats and the revenue guidance was only like a 2% beat. However, I'm not complaining though, because what's happening behind the numbers and how management portrayed the growth story of SoundHound in the webcast has gotten me very excited about the future. That's one of the reasons why I'm buying more SoundHound, but more on that later. So management has broken down their revenue stream into three pillars. Pillar 1 is royalty revenue from farming out their voice AI technology to car, TV, and Internet of Things brands. Pillar 2 is subscription revenue from providing bespoke voice AI solutions to QSRs or quick service restaurants. Pillar 3 is a bit more ambiguous and immaterial right now, but according to the CEO, it's the future of SoundHound. He basically said it's connecting services like those in Pillar 2 to products. Maybe they're trying to get voice AI to sell to customers as opposed to just taking their orders. I'm just speculating here, but I'm sure it'll become clearer in the next earnings call. For now, just know that whilst this revenue stream is immaterial right now, it could be a huge revenue driver in the future. Alright, so let's talk about Pillar 1 in more detail, which is essentially their automotive division. When it comes to SoundHound's partnership with Stellantis, Alfa Romeo and Lancia have also started using SoundHound Chat AI, and surprisingly they signed up an American EV company to use SoundHound Chat AI, and the partnership will go live later this summer. I looked up some potential candidates and it could be either Lucid or Canoo. I don't think it'll be Tesla because they seem to like developing all their technology in-house, and I think one of the parties would have announced it if that were the case. But who knows, if it is Tesla, it would be huge. And as for Rivian, I think they already use Alexa, but I may be wrong, so don't quote me on it. Furthermore, they also signed up an Asian EV maker, which could be one of dozens of brands. It could be a Chinese brand like NIO or Xiaoping, who knows, but it's a positive development nonetheless. Sticking to the automotive division, Nvidia's Drive collaboration was announced a few months ago, and whilst it is promising, it hasn't really been monetized yet, so the material impact is negligible. However, the potential here is huge and it's still early days, so let's see how this partnership plays out. So there was good growth in Pillar 1, but there was even stronger growth in Pillar 2. So again, Pillar 2 comprises subscription revenue from AI solutions, mainly in QSRs or quick service restaurants. So apparently 18 months ago, the revenue from Pillar 2 was negligible, but now it makes up 30% of total revenue, which means it's the biggest growth driver for the company at the moment. We've been waiting for the top 15 QSR announcements since March, and guess what? SoundHound has kept it under wraps and has in fact already delivered a solution to this client, and from what the CEO said in the webcast, the client is very happy with what they've seen so far and are rapidly expanding it to more stores. Apparently the kitchen couldn't keep up with the amount of orders that the voice AI interface was providing. I'm not sure why they never announced this formally, but maybe the client wanted to keep it quiet for some reason. I mean, as long as they're paying for the service, who cares, right? In addition to that, SoundHound has been expanding their footprint with smaller but still significant local brands like Church's Chicken, Applebee's, and of course Jersey Mike's. Apparently all of these brands are rolling out SoundHound's AI technology to more stores. And when it comes to the Sync 3 acquisition, it seems to be going well, adding around $3 million to this quarter's revenue alone. That's quite significant, and once SoundHound finishes squeezing out all the cost synergies, we should see an improvement in the bottom line also. And another surprise was SoundHound's expansion into the fitness industry with their smart answering solution. SoundHound signed up a Planet Fitness franchisee to answer calls about their business, and from what I could gather, the results are looking good so far, so hopefully we can see further expansion into this industry. And finally, the CEO said that Pillar 2 total addressable market is huge at more than $100 billion. I know that TAMs can be made up on the spot, but still $100 billion is a huge number and goes to show how big the potential here is. And again, pillar 3, we'll talk about that next time when we get more info. Other items of note were the increased backlog of work. Last quarter we saw a backlog of $661 million, and this time we see a backlog of $682 million, which is a nice increase. In addition, the CEO said in the Q&A session that whereas SoundHound had to go door knocking 18 months ago to get leads, now customers are knocking on their door, which is a positive turnaround. In terms of partnerships, we saw one with ARM and a more material one with Perplexity, which is a generative AI competitor to ChatGPT. I didn't really know much about Perplexity until this week when Stanley Druckenmiller, who was a famous billionaire hedge fund manager, came on CNBC a few days ago and talked about why he invested in it. I'll just play you the clip because he does a great job at explaining how good Perplexity is.
I love Perplexity. Again, a funny story, my young partner, the one who has basically been behind all our AI play with his staff. He told me, I don't know, in January that all the kids on the West Coast weren't using ChatGPT or Google anymore. They were using this thing called Perplexity AI. So I, of course, tried it out, and it was just unbelievable. It's an answer machine, but the speed, but the depth of the answers and the quality, and then the fact that they give you the sources if you want to go deeper, it was nothing like I've ever seen. If you don't believe me, just ask ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity a question and get the answer, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Right. I fell so in love with it. We tried to get in on a round that we were lucky enough to be accommodated. I love the founder, Aravind Srinivas. He's super aggressive and with his team super innovative, but he's also got humility. He's everything we love in a founder. So there's a land grab going on now in the answer machine business. It's obviously a big task to take on Google, but if you think about it, Google has 300 billion in sales. If Perplexity even goes to 2 billion in sales, it'll be a huge winner. Frankly, I'd say 95% of my searches now I use Perplexity. Probably the best thing I could do for the viewers today, unless they're listening to all my other stuff. Try this thing out, you'll love it.
So SoundHound has partnered up with what looks to be the best generative AI company out there, and I expect this partnership to complement SoundHound's voice AI technology very nicely. And going back to the ARM partnership, it looks more like a marketing ploy, but who knows, SoundHound could end up with some big leads by teaming up with their platform. So overall, I came away from this earnings report, webcast and Q&A session feeling very impressed with management. Their ability to execute and beat expectations without arrogance or bragging speaks volumes. I mean, the way they've been able to sign up global clients like this mysterious global QSR brand and actually deliver a working solution all within just a few months is quite impressive and bodes well for the company going forward. That's enough for the earnings report. Let's talk about the share price. So here's what I think is going to happen to SoundHound's share price on Friday. I'm going to get straight to the point. I think SoundHound can finish above $6 on Friday, and that would mark a bullish weekly candle. That will also set up SoundHound to test $7 next week. It'll also bring us back into this $5 to $7 box, which is bullish. However, the next level of resistance is at $6, so the faster we get above this price, the better. Furthermore, the short interest in SoundHound was updated yesterday, and it appears that it is still quite high at over 22%. Note that this is 10 days old, but even still, if we assume that there was a little bit of short covering over the past few days, this number is probably sitting at around 20% currently. So on Friday, a lot of these short sellers are going to feel the burn, and I think many of them will be covering. That will add to buying pressure from the bulls, and we could finish the day up more than 30%, which would bring the price well above $6. On top of that is analysts being forced to upgrade their forecasts. It'll be interesting to see what analysts like Cantor Fitzgerald's Brett Knobloch does, because his bearish thesis has now been blown out of the water. Is he going to cave and upgrade his price target according to the market, or is he going to double down on his $4.90 price target? I think he's going to be forced to upgrade eventually. Anyway, I'm buying more SoundHound right at the open because of these reasons. Even though there is a real possibility that SoundHound might actually dip, I'm not going to try to time the market because I usually get it wrong anyway, and I'm bullish over the next few months, so I might as well just put my money where my mouth is and buy some more right now. You might be asking though, why am I so bullish? Well, I'm bullish on SoundHound because not only does it have a very promising future, it has a strong tailwind in the form of a broader bull market. If we look at the Nasdaq, I feel like it's on the brink of setting a new all-time high, which could come as early as Friday. The triple Qs are currently trading only 2% off its all-time high, and I can feel that it just wants to break out. So basically, the bull market is back in action, and so is SoundHound. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. My goal this month is to get to 3,000 subscribers, so if you haven't already, please hit the like and subscribe button for more SoundHound updates. It's free and it'll only take 1 second. Thanks for watching and see you tomorrow.